The Art of Critical Thinking, Master the Most Valuable Skill on the Planet. Published by MindLixer. Have you ever found yourself regretting a decision, wondering how you could have been so short-sighted? Or perhaps you've experienced that sinking feeling when an argument collapses under you, not because you were wrong, but because you couldn't articulate your thoughts clearly. These moments of frustration, confusion, and defeat are not just simple lapses, they are clear signs of the need for better critical thinking. Critical thinking, the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment, is not merely a skill, but an art that can be mastered. It is, perhaps, the most valuable skill anyone can acquire in today's complex and information-saturated world. Think about the last time you faced a difficult decision at work, where the stakes were high and the right path was not clear. Or recall a moment in a personal relationship where misunderstandings led to a conflict that seemed impossible to resolve. These are not just bumps in the road, they are direct consequences of a lack of critical thinking. Our brains, wonderful as they are, come wired with a plethora of biases and distortions that can lead us astray. We fall prey to confirmation bias, where we cherry-pick information that supports our existing beliefs. We succumb to the sunk cost fallacy, throwing good money after bad, or we let emotions cloud our judgment, leading to impulsive decisions that we later regret. Moreover, consider the role of critical thinking in the broader social and cultural context. In an era where misinformation can spread across the globe in an instant, the ability to sift through the noise, to distinguish between what is true and what is false, is more crucial than ever. It is not just about being right, it is about understanding the world in a way that allows you to navigate through it effectively and ethically. The repercussions of inadequate critical thinking are evident not only in personal failures but also in societal challenges, political polarization, public health crises, and environmental issues, to name a few. These are not just problems but are manifestations of a widespread deficit in critical thinking among leaders and the public alike. However, critical thinking is not an innate ability bestowed upon a select few, it is a skill that can be learned and honed. Through this audiobook, we will explore various facets of critical thinking. We'll delve into how our thinking can become clouded and how to clear the mist. We'll discover techniques to improve how we perceive information, how to question our assumptions, and how to build robust arguments. We'll examine how these skills apply not just in high-stakes environments, but everyday life. Whether you're making financial decisions, navigating relationships, or participating in community discussions, critical thinking can transform your approach and outcomes. Imagine the empowerment of not just reacting to the world as it happens, but engaging with it on a deeper, more thoughtful level. This is the promise of mastering critical thinking, a richer understanding of the world, more fruitful interactions with others, and a profound sense of confidence in your ability to tackle challenges. This audiobook is designed not just to teach you about critical thinking, but to transform how you think. It is structured to walk you through understanding the barriers that inhibit clear thinking, to learning the tools that can enhance your cognitive abilities, and finally to applying these tools in various realms of your life. As we progress, we will explore the subtle art of balancing emotion with logic, the ways to dismantle biases, and how to cultivate a mind that questions rather than accepts. Each chapter builds on the previous one, with the final segment offering advanced insights into how critical thinking can become second nature. By the end of this journey, you will not only be aware of the importance of this critical skill, but will have armed yourself with the tools to master it. So, let us embark on this journey together, exploring the art of critical thinking, and uncover the most valuable skill you can possess in our rapidly evolving world. Chapter 1: Unveiling the Barriers to Critical Thinking. Our minds are incredible machines, capable of processing complex information and making decisions quickly. However, this speed comes at a cost, often bypassing rigorous logical reasoning in favor of cognitive shortcuts known as biases. These biases are not merely quirks of human thought, but significant hurdles that impair our ability to think critically. Among the myriad of cognitive biases that cloud our judgment, a few stand out for their pervasive influence on our thinking processes. Understanding these biases is the first step towards overcoming them, thus enhancing our ability to make reasoned decisions. One of the most prevalent biases is confirmation bias, where individuals favor information that confirms their pre-existing beliefs or hypotheses, regardless of whether the information is true. This bias leads us to seek out, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms our preconceptions, often while giving disproportionately less consideration to alternative possibilities. For example, in the realm of investment, an investor might focus on positive news regarding a stock they own, ignoring any warning signs about potential problems because the positive news supports their decision to invest. Similarly, in personal relationships, one might overlook the faults in someone they admire, focusing only on their positive traits, thus getting a skewed perception of the person. Another significant bias is the anchoring bias, which occurs when individuals rely too heavily on the first piece of information they hear when making decisions. This anchor then influences all subsequent thoughts and judgments. For instance, if you are told that a restaurant is extremely expensive before you see the menu, your perception of the prices will be influenced by that initial piece of information, even if the prices are average for the area. This bias can affect everything from financial negotiations, where the first number put on the table sets the tone for the rest of the discussion, to medical decisions, where the first treatment suggested by a doctor may unduly influence patient choices. The availability heuristic is another cognitive bias where people overestimate the importance of information that is readily available to them. This bias occurs because if something can be recalled easily, it is often seen as more frequent or likely than it actually is. For example, after seeing news reports about airplane crashes, individuals might overestimate the risk of flying. This heuristic can lead to poor judgment because easily remembered events are not always the most accurate or common occurrences, and relying on such information can skew our understanding of reality. Furthermore, the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias in which people with limited knowledge or competence in a domain overestimate their own ability in that domain. Conversely, highly competent individuals may underestimate their relative competence, assuming that tasks which are easy for them are also easy for others. This effect can lead to significant errors in self-assessment, as those who are least skilled are also the least able to recognize their deficiencies, which can be particularly detrimental in environments where skill and precision are required. Additionally, the sunk cost fallacy plays a critical role in decision-making processes. This fallacy occurs when people continue a behavior or endeavor as a result of previously invested resources, time, money, or effort, even if the current costs outweigh the benefits. For example, a person may continue to wait in line for an event after having already waited for an hour, simply because they do not want to waste the time already spent waiting, even though this continuation brings no additional benefit. In business, it manifests when managers continue a project that is clearly doomed to fail, simply because a significant amount of money has already been invested in it. Recognizing this fallacy is essential for making rational decisions about when to continue a course of action and when to cut losses. Understanding and acknowledging these biases in our thinking processes is crucial for anyone seeking to enhance their critical thinking skills. By becoming aware of these mental shortcuts, we can begin to counteract their effects, which requires conscious effort and practice. Techniques such as actively seeking out contradictory information, re-evaluating initial impressions, and considering the source of information can help mitigate the impact of these biases. Additionally, fostering an environment of debate and discussion can encourage individuals to confront their biases and think more deeply about their decisions. As we continue to explore the barriers to effective critical thinking, it becomes evident that these cognitive biases are not just occasional stumbling blocks but constant factors influencing our daily decision-making. Overcoming them is not a one-time effort but a continuous process of self-awareness and improvement. By systematically addressing each bias, questioning our assumptions, and rigorously evaluating the evidence before us, we can slowly but surely enhance our ability to think critically and make decisions that are not only informed but also impartial and reflective of a deeper understanding of the complexities of the world around us. This endeavor to master our cognitive biases is not merely an exercise in intellectual discipline, but a commitment to living a more deliberate and examined life, one thoughtful decision at a time. Our minds are incredible machines, capable of processing complex information and making decisions quickly. However, this speed comes at a cost, often bypassing rigorous logical reasoning in favor of cognitive shortcuts known as biases. These biases are not merely quirks of human thought but significant hurdles that impair our ability to think critically. Among the myriad of cognitive biases that cloud our judgment, a few stand out for their pervasive influence on our thinking processes. Understanding these biases is the first step towards overcoming them, thus enhancing our ability to make reasoned decisions. One of the most prevalent biases is confirmation bias, where individuals favor information that confirms their pre-existing beliefs or hypotheses, regardless of whether the information is true. This bias leads us to seek out, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms our preconceptions, often while giving disproportionately less consideration to alternative possibilities. For example, in the realm of investment, an investor might focus on positive news regarding a stock they own, ignoring any warning signs about potential problems because the positive news supports their decision to invest. Similarly, in personal relationships, one might overlook the faults in someone they admire, focusing only on their positive traits, thus getting a skewed perception of the person. Another significant bias is the anchoring bias, which occurs when individuals rely too heavily on the first piece of information they hear when making decisions. This anchor then influences all subsequent thoughts and judgments. For instance, if you are told that a restaurant is extremely expensive before you see the menu, your perception of the prices will be influenced by that initial piece of information, even if the prices are average for the area. This bias can affect everything from financial negotiations, where the first number put on the table sets the tone for the rest of the discussion, to medical decisions, where the first treatment suggested by a doctor may unduly influence patient choices. The availability heuristic is another cognitive bias where people overestimate the importance of information that is readily available to them. This bias occurs because if something can be recalled easily, it is often seen as more frequent or likely than it actually is. For example, after seeing news reports about airplane crashes, individuals might overestimate the risk of flying. This heuristic can lead to poor judgment because easily remembered events are not always the most accurate or common occurrences, and relying on such information can skew our understanding of reality. Furthermore, the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias in which people with limited knowledge or competence in a domain overestimate their own ability in that domain. Conversely, highly competent individuals may underestimate their relative competence, assuming that tasks which are easy for them are also easy for others. This effect can lead to significant errors in self-assessment, as those who are least skilled are also the least able to recognize their deficiencies, which can be particularly detrimental in environments where skill and precision are required. Additionally, the sunk cost fallacy plays a critical role in decision-making processes. This fallacy occurs when people continue a behavior or endeavor as a result of previously invested resources, time, money, or effort, even if the current costs outweigh the benefits. For example, a person may continue to wait in line for an event after having already waited for an hour, simply because they do not want to waste the time already spent waiting, even though this continuation brings no additional benefit. In business, it manifests when managers continue a project that is clearly doomed to fail, simply because a significant amount of money has already been invested in it. Recognizing this fallacy is essential for making rational decisions about when to continue a course of action and when to cut losses. Understanding and acknowledging these biases in our thinking processes is crucial for anyone seeking to enhance their critical thinking skills. By becoming aware of these mental shortcuts, we can begin to counteract their effects, which requires conscious effort and practice. Techniques such as actively seeking out contradictory information, re-evaluating initial impressions, and considering the source of information can help mitigate the impact of these biases. Additionally, fostering an environment of debate and discussion can encourage individuals to confront their biases and think more deeply about their decisions. As we continue to explore the barriers to effective critical thinking, it becomes evident that these cognitive biases are not just occasional stumbling blocks but constant factors influencing our daily decision-making. Overcoming them is not a one-time effort but a continuous process of self-awareness and improvement. By systematically addressing each bias, questioning our assumptions, and rigorously evaluating the evidence before us, we can slowly but surely enhance our ability to think critically and make decisions that are not only informed but also impartial and reflective of a deeper understanding of the complexities of the world around us. This endeavor to master our cognitive biases is not merely an exercise in intellectual discipline but a commitment to living a more deliberate and examined life, one thoughtful decision at a time. Emotions play a profound role in shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and decisions, often acting beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. While emotions are essential for survival, guiding us away from danger and towards opportunities, they can also distort our perception and reasoning processes, leading to irrational thoughts and decisions. The intricate relationship between emotion and reason is a critical aspect of understanding how we think and make decisions, especially when striving to enhance our critical thinking abilities. Emotions can color our perception in ways that are subtle yet profound. For instance, when we feel angry, our focus narrows to the source of our irritation, potentially leading us to overlook other relevant information. This tunnel vision can make us less effective in assessing situations objectively. Similarly, fear can cause us to overestimate risks, leading to decisions that are overly cautious and can prevent us from taking beneficial risks. On the other hand, joy and excitement might lead us to underestimate potential dangers, resulting in overly optimistic assessments of situations. The influence of emotions on our decision-making processes can be particularly detrimental when it comes to complex or critical decisions that require clear-headed deliberation. For example, in high-stakes business negotiations, feelings of pride or competition can lead to decisions that are more about winning or maintaining one's ego rather than achieving the best outcome. In personal relationships, unresolved anger or hurt can impair our ability to communicate effectively, potentially leading to decisions that exacerbate conflicts rather than resolve them. To navigate the often murky waters where emotions and rational thought intersect, it is important to develop strategies for managing emotional influences. One effective technique is emotional awareness, which involves recognizing when emotions are influencing our thoughts and then pausing to reflect on the rationality of these thoughts. This practice, often referred to as emotional intelligence, requires us to identify, assess, and regulate our emotions so that they do not unduly influence our decision-making processes. Mindfulness practices also play a crucial role in managing emotions. By cultivating a state of mindful awareness, we can observe our emotions without immediately reacting to them. This space between feeling and action allows us to choose responses that are more in line with our overall objectives and values, rather than being swept away by emotional impulses. For example, mindfulness can help an individual recognize the initial signs of stress or frustration and apply calming techniques before these feelings escalate into anger or anxiety that could cloud judgment. Moreover, cognitive reframing is another powerful tool for mitigating the impact of emotions on rational thought. This technique involves changing the way we interpret and think about a situation or emotion, which can alter our emotional responses. For example, instead of viewing a challenging work project as a threat to one's competence, reframe it as an opportunity to learn new skills and improve. This positive perspective reduces anxiety and fosters a more constructive approach to problem solving. Additionally, Developing empathy can enhance our ability to understand and regulate emotions, both our own and those of others. Empathy involves understanding another person's perspective and emotions, which can help in de-escalating conflicts and improving communication. In professional settings, empathy can lead to better teamwork and leadership, as it fosters an environment where all team members feel understood and valued, which can reduce emotional tensions and enhance collective decision-making. Regular reflection on past decisions where emotions played a key role can also provide valuable insights. By analyzing situations where emotions led to poor outcomes, individuals can begin to identify patterns in their emotional responses and develop strategies to better manage similar situations in the future. This kind of reflective practice not only improves individual emotional regulation but also enhances overall critical thinking skills by making the processes of thought and decision more transparent and subject to scrutiny. In sum, while emotions are integral to our psychological makeup and necessary for a full human experience, their influence on rational thought can be profound and often problematic. By understanding the ways in which our emotions can cloud our judgment, and by developing skills to manage and mitigate these influences, we can improve our ability to think critically and make decisions that are both wise and informed. Through continuous practice and awareness, we can learn to harmonize our emotional and rational faculties to better navigate the complexities of life, ensuring that our decisions are the product of a balanced and thoughtful mind. Chapter 2: Tools for Enhanced Perception. Enhancing our observation and perception is critical to honing our critical thinking skills, as it underpins our ability to interpret and respond to the world accurately. Observational skills allow us to notice details that might otherwise go unnoticed, providing the raw data necessary to inform sound decision-making. Perception, on the other hand, involves interpreting the data our senses collect, which means that any improvement in our perceptual abilities directly enhances our capacity to understand and interact with our environment more effectively. One foundational technique for improving observation is deliberate practice in mindfulness. Mindfulness involves maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surrounding environment. By practicing mindfulness, we can train ourselves to notice more details about our environment and the people in it, which can lead to more accurate and nuanced perceptions. For example, a manager might use mindfulness to better gauge the mood and morale of their team, picking up on subtle cues like body language and tone of voice that might indicate underlying issues before they become problematic. Another powerful technique is active listening, which involves fully concentrating, understanding, responding, and then remembering what is being said. This is particularly useful in conversations and meetings where critical information is shared. Active listeners do not just passively hear the message of the speaker, but actively listen and process the information. This engagement helps in capturing nuances and underlying sentiments that can inform more empathetic and effective responses, thereby improving interpersonal communication and decision-making. Visual thinking is another method that can enhance observational skills. This involves using visual aids like diagrams, sketches, or flowcharts to organize information visually, making complex data easier to understand and analyze. By translating information into a visual format, individuals can see patterns and connections that might be missed in text-based data. For example, project managers might use Gantt charts to track project timelines and dependencies, which can help in anticipating problems and allocating resources more effectively. Practicing the art of questioning is also essential for enhancing observation and perception. By learning to ask different types of questions, open-ended, probing, and clarifying, we can uncover deeper insights about the situations we encounter. Questions like "What else might be going on here?" or "Can you explain more about your reasoning?" encourage deeper engagement and observation, helping to peel back layers that might initially be obscured. Journaling is a technique that can help improve observation by encouraging a reflective practice. By regularly writing down observations about daily interactions or new experiences, individuals can become more aware of their surroundings and internal biases that might color their perceptions. This record-keeping becomes a valuable resource for identifying patterns in behavior or recurring themes in interactions that might warrant further attention. Developing a habit of conducting environmental scans can also be a practical approach to sharpen observational skills. This involves regularly taking stock of a situation or environment to collect data before making decisions. In professional settings, this might mean analyzing market trends or competitor behaviors. In personal contexts, it might mean assessing the mood and dynamics of social gatherings. Utilizing technology can also play a role in enhancing observational skills. Tools like data analytics software can help parse large datasets to find trends, outliers, or anomalies that might not be evident through manual observation. In fields like healthcare, the use of diagnostic tools like MRI scans or X-rays allows professionals to observe and diagnose issues that are not visible to the naked eye. Moreover, engaging with diverse perspectives is crucial in refining perceptual accuracy. Exposure to different cultures, professions, or socio-economic backgrounds can provide new lenses through which to view the world, challenging our preconceived notions and biases. Such interactions can lead to a more rounded understanding of complex issues, fostering more inclusive and effective decision-making. Training in specific observational techniques, like those used in scientific research or investigative journalism, can also be beneficial. These techniques often involve systematic approaches to gathering and analyzing data, ensuring that observations are both comprehensive and precise. Learning these methodologies can be applied to various aspects of life, from academic research to everyday problem solving, enhancing both the breadth and depth of our perceptions. Lastly, feedback mechanisms can be instrumental in improving observational skills. By seeking and reflecting on feedback from others regarding our perceptions and decisions, we can gain insights into our observational blind spots and perceptual errors. This feedback, whether from colleagues, friends, or mentors, acts as a mirror reflecting our interpretative strengths and weaknesses, guiding us toward more accurate and effective observational practices. By integrating these techniques into daily routines, individuals can significantly enhance their observational and perceptual skills, laying a solid foundation for advanced critical thinking and problem-solving abilities. This enhancement of our sensory and interpretive faculties is not merely an academic exercise but a practical upgrade to how we navigate our complex world, leading to more informed, effective, and enlightened personal and professional lives. Questioning assumptions and challenging norms are pivotal practices in the development of critical thinking skills, as they prompt us to re-evaluate the status quo and seek deeper understanding beyond surface appearances. Assumptions are the bedrock upon which we build our beliefs and decisions, often without conscious awareness. They simplify the complex world around us, making it more manageable but sometimes leading us astray if not rigorously examined. Similarly, societal norms can guide behavior and decision-making in ways that might not always align with individual or contemporary values. By questioning these foundational elements, we not only sharpen our critical thinking but also pave the way for innovation and progress. The strategy of challenging assumptions begins with identifying them. This is not always straightforward, as assumptions are often hidden or implicit. One effective method is to use critical questioning techniques, such as "What are we assuming here?" or "What would happen if we thought differently about this?" These questions force us to articulate the underlying premises of our thoughts and actions, bringing them into the open where they can be scrutinized. For instance, in a business context, the assumption that customer satisfaction is solely driven by pricing can be challenged to consider other factors like quality and service, potentially leading to a more nuanced and effective business strategy. Another strategy involves the use of scenario analysis, which can help in examining the consequences of assumptions under different circumstances. By imagining various scenarios in which an assumption might not hold true, we can test its validity and robustness. For example, if a company assumes that its primary market will continue to behave predictably, scenario analysis might involve imagining shifts in consumer behavior due to technological changes or economic downturns, prompting a re-evaluation of marketing and operational strategies. The practice of playing devil's advocate is another effective method for questioning assumptions. By intentionally adopting a contrary position, individuals or groups can explore alternative viewpoints and uncover blind spots in their original thinking. This method can be particularly useful in group settings, such as meetings or brainstorming sessions, where the dynamics of consensus often suppress dissent and critical analysis. It encourages a culture where questioning and critical thinking are valued over conformity and superficial agreement. Challenging societal norms requires a similar critical approach, but on a broader scale. It involves questioning why certain behaviors or ideas are considered acceptable and whether they continue to serve a beneficial purpose. This can be particularly important in addressing issues of social justice, where norms may perpetuate inequality or exclusion. By critically examining these norms, individuals and societies can foster greater inclusivity and fairness. For instance, re-evaluating norms around work culture, such as the traditional 9-to-5 workday, can lead to more flexible, productive, and satisfying work environments that accommodate diverse lifestyles and needs. Historical analysis is another tool for challenging norms. By understanding how certain practices or beliefs came to be accepted, we can better judge their relevance and suitability for the present. This understanding can lead to powerful insights that motivate change, such as the realization that many workplace norms have roots in industrial age practices that may no longer apply in today's digital and globalized economy. Moreover, engaging with a wide range of cultures and perspectives is crucial in challenging both assumptions and norms. Exposure to diverse ways of thinking can highlight the arbitrariness of certain practices and inspire more universal approaches to common problems. This can be particularly enlightening in global organizations, where understanding and integrating multiple cultural perspectives can lead to more innovative and effective practices. Furthermore, the application of scientific and logical reasoning is vital in challenging assumptions and norms. By adhering to principles of logical coherence and empirical evidence, individuals can discredit unfounded or outdated beliefs and promote more rational and effective ones. This approach is fundamental in fields like healthcare, where evidence-based practice is critical for patient safety and effective treatment. Additionally, leveraging technology and data analytics can provide new insights that challenge old assumptions and norms. In today's data-driven world, analytics can reveal patterns and correlations that contradict traditional beliefs, prompting shifts in business strategies, public policies, and personal behaviors. Finally, fostering an environment of continuous learning and curiosity is essential for maintaining the momentum of questioning and challenging the status quo. By cultivating a mindset that is always open to learning and questioning, individuals and organizations can remain agile and adaptive, continually aligning themselves with the most current knowledge and best practices. Questioning assumptions and challenging norms are not merely academic exercises, but are essential practices for personal growth, professional excellence, and societal progress. Through these strategies, individuals learn not only to accept the complexity and ambiguity of the world, but also to navigate it more effectively, leading to more informed, ethical, and innovative outcomes. These practices empower us to break free from the confines of conventional thinking, uncover new opportunities, and ultimately, drive meaningful change. Chapter 3: Strategic Thought and Problem Solving. Systematic analysis and logical reasoning are cornerstone techniques in the practice of critical thinking. They provide a structured approach to problem solving and decision-making, allowing for clear, coherent, and rational conclusions. These methods are essential in fields ranging from scientific research to business strategy and everyday decision-making. By applying systematic analysis and logical reasoning, individuals can dissect complex issues, identify underlying principles, and construct arguments that are both persuasive and grounded in reality. Systematic analysis involves a step-by-step breakdown of information into smaller, manageable parts to understand the structure and underlying relationships. This process typically begins with defining the problem clearly and comprehensively. A clear definition sets the stage for all subsequent analyses by ensuring that everyone involved understands the issue in the same way and from a comprehensive perspective. For example, in a business context, defining whether a decline in sales is due to external market forces or internal execution issues is crucial for determining the appropriate analytical approach and subsequent interventions. Once the problem is defined, the next step involves gathering relevant data. This includes identifying all necessary information that impacts the problem and ensuring that the data is accurate and reliable. The gathering process might involve quantitative methods such as surveys and experiments or qualitative methods such as interviews and observational studies. For instance, if a company is looking to improve customer satisfaction, it might gather data through customer surveys, support call logs, and feedback from social media platforms. After data collection, the analysis phase begins. This phase uses various techniques to interpret the data and extract useful insights. Techniques might include statistical analysis, thematic analysis for qualitative data, or trend analysis to identify patterns over time. The key is to apply these techniques objectively and systematically to draw conclusions that are supported by evidence. For example, a healthcare provider analyzing patient data to determine the effectiveness of a new treatment would use statistical tools to compare recovery rates under different conditions and control for variables such as age and comorbidity. Logical reasoning complements systematic analysis by providing the framework for interpreting the results of the analysis and making reasoned arguments. It involves the use of logic to infer conclusions from premises known or assumed to be true. Logical reasoning includes both deductive and inductive reasoning processes. Deductive reasoning starts with a general premise and moves to a specific conclusion, while inductive reasoning starts with specific observations and moves to a general conclusion. For example, a scientist using deductive reasoning might start with the general law of gravity and predict how a specific object will fall. Conversely, a market analyst might use inductive reasoning to observe specific trends in consumer behavior and conclude a new market trend. Each method has its strengths and is useful depending on the context and the nature of the problem being addressed. Another critical component of logical reasoning is ensuring that the arguments are coherent and internally consistent. This involves checking for logical fallacies, errors in reasoning that weaken arguments. Common fallacies include hasty generalizations, where conclusions are drawn from insufficient data, and circular reasoning, where the conclusion is merely a restatement of the premise in different words. Recognizing and avoiding these fallacies is crucial for maintaining the integrity of the reasoning process. The use of analogical reasoning is also beneficial in many scenarios. This involves drawing parallels between similar situations to reason about a problem. For example, a business strategist might draw on successful marketing strategies from one industry and apply them analogically to a different industry with similar characteristics. However, care must be taken to ensure the relevance and appropriateness of the analogy to avoid misleading conclusions. Systematic analysis and logical reasoning also benefit greatly from visualization techniques. Visualizing complex data or arguments in graphical form, such as charts, graphs, or flow diagrams, can help clarify relationships and support better understanding and communication. This is particularly useful in collaborative settings where multiple stakeholders need to understand and discuss the analysis findings. Furthermore, critical evaluation is an ongoing part of systematic analysis and logical reasoning. This involves continually questioning and re-evaluating the conclusions drawn to ensure they remain valid as new data emerges or as further analysis reveals additional insights. This aspect of critical thinking is essential for adapting to changing circumstances and for refining approaches as more information becomes available. Ultimately, mastering systematic analysis and logical reasoning equips individuals with the tools to approach problems methodically and make decisions confidently based on sound evidence and rational thought. This mastery is not merely academic but practical, enhancing one's ability to navigate complex situations in professional and personal contexts, leading to more effective, efficient, and impactful outcomes. By fostering a disciplined approach to thinking, individuals and organizations can achieve greater clarity and precision in their endeavors, ensuring decisions are not only made but made well. The application of critical thinking in problem solving can be best illustrated through detailed case studies from various fields. These examples showcase how individuals and organizations can employ systematic analysis and logical reasoning to overcome complex challenges. Each case study serves as a testament to the power of critical thinking in turning obstacles into opportunities, providing valuable lessons on the methodologies and thought processes that can lead to successful outcomes. One significant case study involves a major technology company facing a decline in market share due to increasing competition and rapid technological advancements. The company's initial assumption was that the decline was primarily due to pricing and product features. However, by employing critical thinking and systematic analysis, the company leadership began to question this assumption and instead explored a range of factors affecting their market position, including customer service, brand perception, and product ecosystem integration. The problem-solving process began with a thorough data collection phase, where customer feedback was gathered and analyzed to understand the root causes of customer dissatisfaction. Advanced analytics were applied to customer data to identify patterns not immediately obvious through cursory inspection, such as issues with customer service response times and integration issues between different product lines that caused user frustration. This analytical phase was crucial in shifting the company's focus from merely adjusting product features to enhancing the overall customer experience. Based on these insights, the company redesigned its customer service protocol to ensure quicker and more effective responses. It also initiated a program to better integrate its product ecosystem, making it more user-friendly and increasing cross-product functionality. These strategic decisions were backed by logical reasoning and evidence gathered through the analytical process, ensuring that the solutions were targeted and effective. Another case study comes from the healthcare sector, where a hospital struggled with high readmission rates, which not only affected patient outcomes but also led to financial penalties under healthcare regulations. The hospital employed critical thinking to address this issue systematically. The first step involved forming a cross-functional team of doctors, nurses, data analysts, and administrative staff to examine the problem comprehensively. The team used data analytics to track patterns in readmission cases, identifying common factors such as premature discharge practices and inadequate post-discharge follow-up. Logical reasoning helped to correlate these factors with readmission rates, leading to the hypothesis that improving discharge planning and follow-up procedures could reduce readmissions. This hypothesis was tested through a pilot program that extended the discharge planning process and introduced a new follow-up protocol involving phone calls and home visits for high-risk patients. The results were monitored and analyzed over a 6-month period, showing a significant reduction in readmission rates for the patients involved in the pilot program. The success of this pilot led to the hospital-wide adoption of the new protocols, demonstrating how critical thinking can lead to impactful solutions in healthcare. A third case study involves a city government tackling the problem of rising urban traffic congestion. The traditional response to this issue had been to expand road infrastructure. However, city planners employed critical thinking to challenge this norm and explore more sustainable and cost-effective solutions. They gathered data on traffic patterns, public transportation usage, and population growth forecasts to analyze the problem comprehensively. The analysis revealed that simply expanding the road network would not be a viable long-term solution due to the city's geographical constraints and environmental concerns. Instead, the planners proposed a multimodal transport strategy that included the development of public transportation options, the introduction of bike lanes, and the implementation of traffic demand management techniques such as congestion pricing. This strategic shift required extensive reasoning and justification, as it involved significant changes to existing policies and infrastructure. The planners used logical arguments to demonstrate the long-term benefits of the proposed strategy, not only in terms of reducing traffic but also in improving air quality and reducing the city's carbon footprint. The proposal was eventually accepted and implemented, leading to a measurable decrease in traffic congestion and an increase in the use of alternative transport modes. Each of these case studies demonstrates how critical thinking, when applied systematically and with sound reasoning, can transform challenges into innovative solutions across different contexts. Whether it's improving customer satisfaction in a competitive market, enhancing patient care in healthcare, or addressing complex urban planning issues, critical thinking provides the tools necessary for effective problem solving. These examples serve as a guide for employing critical thinking techniques to analyze situations deeply, question assumptions, gather and interpret data objectively, and devise solutions that are not only practical but also sustainable and forward-thinking. Chapter 4: Critical Thinking in Communication. Articulation and argumentation are critical skills within the realm of effective communication, particularly when it comes to expressing ideas clearly and persuasively in both spoken and written forms. Mastery of these skills enhances one's ability to present thoughts coherently, engage in meaningful discussions, and influence outcomes positively. The ability to articulate ideas effectively not only aids in conveying one's thoughts, but also plays a crucial role in shaping perceptions, building professional relationships, and advancing career prospects. To enhance articulation, one must first focus on the clarity of thought. Clear thinking is foundational because it influences how ideas are structured and delivered. Techniques such as mind mapping or bullet pointing ideas before speaking or writing can help in organizing thoughts systematically. This preparation ensures that when ideas are presented, they follow a logical flow, making them easier for the audience to understand and follow. For instance, a professional preparing for a presentation might use a mind map to outline the main points and subpoints, ensuring all relevant information is covered logically and comprehensively. In addition to structuring ideas, the choice of vocabulary plays a significant role in effective articulation. Using precise and appropriate language can dramatically enhance the clarity and impact of communication. It involves selecting words that accurately convey the intended meaning without ambiguity. This precision not only improves understanding but also adds to the credibility of the speaker or writer. For example, in academic or technical contexts, using specific terms that are standard in the field can help in communicating complex ideas more effectively. The role of nonverbal cues in articulation should not be underestimated. Body language, eye contact, facial expressions, and tone of voice are all powerful tools that can reinforce or undermine spoken words. Effective communicators are aware of these nonverbal elements and use them strategically to emphasize points and engage the audience. For example, maintaining eye contact can convey confidence and sincerity, while appropriate gestures can help emphasize key points, making the overall communication more engaging and persuasive. Turning to argumentation, this skill is essential for defending ideas or positions in a logical and convincing manner. It starts with the ability to construct a sound argument, which includes a clear statement of the claim, supporting evidence, and a conclusion that logically follows from the evidence. Developing strong arguments also involves anticipating counter-arguments and preparing responses to them. This readiness not only demonstrates a deep understanding of the topic, but also shows respect for differing viewpoints, enhancing the persuasiveness of the argument. Critical to effective argumentation is the ability to evaluate sources of information for credibility and relevance. In an era of information overload, distinguishing between reliable and unreliable information is vital. Critical thinkers apply rigorous standards to assess the quality of evidence, relying on sources that are credible, relevant, and unbiased. This scrutiny ensures that the arguments are well supported and resilient against critical examination. Moreover, the practice of active listening is integral to successful argumentation. By truly listening to and understanding the other side's position, one can formulate more effective counter-arguments and also find common ground. Active listening involves more than just hearing the words spoken, it requires interpreting the underlying meanings and responding thoughtfully. This skill can transform debates into dialogues, where the goal is not merely to win an argument, but to reach a mutual understanding and possibly a consensus. Furthermore, emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in both articulation and argumentation. The ability to manage one's emotions and empathize with others can greatly enhance the effectiveness of communication. Emotional intelligence helps in maintaining composure when discussions become heated and in expressing points in ways that are considerate of the audience's feelings and perspectives. For example, in negotiations or conflict resolutions, being aware of and responsive to the emotions of others can lead to more amicable and successful outcomes. Practicing these skills in diverse settings, from formal presentations to casual conversations, continuously refines and enhances them. Participation in discussion groups, debates, or speaking clubs like Toastmasters can provide valuable practice and feedback, helping individuals to improve gradually over time. Additionally, seeking feedback from peers or mentors and reflecting on one's communication after the fact are excellent ways to identify areas for improvement and to hone one's articulation and argumentation skills further. In essence, enhancing articulation and argumentation skills is about developing the ability to express ideas clearly, logically, and persuasively. These skills are indispensable not only in professional settings but also in everyday interactions, where the effective exchange of ideas can lead to better understanding and cooperation among people. By continuously practicing and refining these skills, individuals can become more effective communicators, capable of influencing and leading discussions and initiatives in their personal and professional lives. Listening skills are often overshadowed by the more conspicuous aspects of communication like speaking or writing, yet they are equally critical for effective interaction. Active listening, in particular, involves fully concentrating on what is being said rather than just passively hearing the message of the speaker. This skill enhances relationships, ensures understanding, resolves conflicts, and improves accuracy when gathering information. By focusing on listening effectively, we enable ourselves to respond more thoughtfully and appropriately, fostering a deeper connection and understanding between communication partners. Active listening is a multifaceted skill that involves several components. Firstly, it requires the listener to pay attention not only to the words being spoken, but also to the tone of voice, body language, and facial expressions of the speaker. These nonverbal cues can often convey more than the spoken word and are crucial for fully understanding the underlying messages or emotions. For instance, a speaker's frustrated tone and tense posture might indicate that the issue they are discussing is of great personal importance, which might be less apparent from their words alone. Another key aspect of active listening is the practice of reflection, which involves paraphrasing or summarizing what the speaker has said to ensure clarity and understanding. This technique not only confirms that the listener has accurately interpreted the speaker's message, but also demonstrates genuine interest in what is being communicated. Reflecting can be particularly useful in complex discussions where details matter and miscommunication can lead to significant consequences. For example, in a medical setting, a doctor might repeat back a patient's symptoms and concerns to ensure that nothing has been misunderstood before proceeding with a diagnosis. Questioning is another critical component of active listening. By asking relevant questions, a listener can delve deeper into the subject matter and encourage the speaker to expand on their thoughts. This not only brings clarity but also allows the speaker to reflect on their own views and explanations, potentially uncovering new insights. Effective questioning avoids simple yes or no queries and instead focuses on open-ended questions that promote discussion, such as "What do you feel led to that situation?" or "Can you explain more about your experience?" Empathy is also an essential part of active listening. Empathetic listening involves trying to understand the feelings and emotions that underlie the speaker's words. This requires a listener to put themselves in the speaker's shoes and view the situation from their perspective. Displaying empathy can significantly enhance the emotional bond between communication partners, making it easier to resolve conflicts and build trust. For example, in conflict resolution, acknowledging the emotions and perspectives of all parties involved can help de-escalate tensions and lead to more amicable solutions. Moreover, active listening also necessitates the management of one's own reactions. It is important for listeners to remain neutral and withhold judgment while the speaker is talking. This can be challenging, especially when the topic is controversial or the viewpoints expressed are starkly different from one's own. However, suspending judgment allows the listener to fully understand the other party's perspective without the clouding effect of bias or preconceived notions. In professional negotiations, for instance, this aspect of active listening can prevent misunderstandings and promote fairer, more effective outcomes. Active listening also plays a crucial role in team environments and leadership. Leaders who listen actively are better able to understand the needs, concerns, and ideas of their team members. This not only helps in making more informed decisions but also empowers team members, fostering a positive workplace culture and increasing overall team productivity. For example, a leader who listens to and addresses the concerns of their team about workload and resource allocation can make adjustments that increase morale and efficiency. Furthermore, the development of active listening skills can be enhanced through practice and feedback. Engaging in exercises such as role-playing can provide individuals with an opportunity to practice listening in a controlled setting and receive feedback on their effectiveness. Additionally, technologies like recording conversations and analyzing them can help individuals recognize areas where their listening might falter, such as interrupting the speaker or failing to make appropriate eye contact. Listening is a fundamental component of effective communication. The development of active listening skills enriches personal and professional relationships, enhances problem-solving and conflict resolution abilities, and leads to better decision-making. By investing time and effort in improving these skills, individuals can become more effective communicators, capable of engaging with others in more meaningful and productive ways. This skill set not only benefits individual interactions but also contributes to the betterment of entire organizations and communities by fostering environments where every voice is heard and valued. Chapter 5: Critical Thinking in Personal Development. Self-reflection is a fundamental aspect of personal growth and development. It involves taking time to consider one's actions, decisions, and emotions, which can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself and the motivations that drive behavior. This introspective process is crucial for anyone looking to enhance their personal and professional lives, as it allows for continuous learning and self-improvement. By engaging in self-reflection, individuals can identify areas of strength and weakness, align their actions with their values, and develop strategies for personal development. The process of self-reflection is often prompted by experiences that challenge our views or expectations. Such experiences can provide valuable lessons that, if properly reflected upon, can significantly alter our understanding and approach to similar situations in the future. For example, a professional setback such as a failed project or a missed promotion can serve as a catalyst for self-reflection. In analyzing what went wrong, an individual might discover previously unrecognized personal limitations or ineffective work habits. This realization can then guide them in acquiring new skills or altering their approach to work, thus enhancing their future performance and career progression. Effective self-reflection requires honesty and openness. It is essential to approach self-reflection without bias or self-deception, which can often be a significant challenge. Individuals must be willing to acknowledge their faults and weaknesses, as well as their strengths. This balanced perspective is critical because it allows for a realistic assessment of one's capabilities and areas in need of improvement. Tools such as journals or diaries can facilitate this process by providing a private space where thoughts and feelings can be expressed freely and reviewed over time. Another important aspect of self-reflection is setting aside regular times for this practice. Consistency helps to make self-reflection a habit, which can lead to continuous improvement. Many find it helpful to incorporate self-reflection into their daily routines, such as during a morning review or an evening wind down, using this time to contemplate the day's events and their responses to them. This daily practice can help individuals maintain a steady focus on their personal development goals, ensuring that self-reflection becomes an integral part of their life. Self-reflection also benefits from structured approaches, such as the use of specific questions that guide the reflective process. Questions such as, "What did I do well today?" or "What could I have done differently?" are simple yet powerful tools that can direct thinking towards productive areas. More complex reflective models, like Gibbs' reflective cycle or Schon's reflective practice, provide frameworks for deeper analysis of actions and their outcomes, encouraging a thorough exploration of both the events themselves and the individual's responses to them. Furthermore, feedback from others can be an invaluable component of self-reflection. Feedback provides external perspectives on one's behavior and outcomes, which can be critical in verifying self-assessments. This feedback can come from various sources such as peers, mentors, or even family members, and it should be welcomed and considered carefully. It is particularly useful when it challenges the individual's own perceptions, as this can reveal blind spots in self-awareness and prompt further reflection and growth. In addition to personal insights, self-reflection is instrumental in developing emotional intelligence. By regularly examining one's emotional responses and the situations that trigger them, individuals can become more adept at managing their emotions. This improved emotional regulation not only enhances personal well-being but also improves interactions with others, as individuals who understand and control their emotions are often better communicators and collaborators. Self-reflection is not just about identifying areas for improvement, it also involves recognizing and reinforcing effective behaviors and positive outcomes. Celebrating successes as part of the reflective process can boost confidence and motivate continued effort towards personal and professional goals. It also helps to solidify the behaviors and strategies that led to those successes, making it more likely that they will be applied effectively in the future. Moreover, self-reflection plays a crucial role in aligning one's actions with their deeper values and long-term objectives. By regularly examining how current behaviors support these values and goals, individuals can make more informed decisions that lead them closer to the life they aspire to lead. This alignment is essential for personal satisfaction and fulfillment, as it ensures that one's daily activities contribute to their broader life purpose. Self-reflection is a powerful tool for personal development. It facilitates a deeper understanding of oneself, encourages the continual reassessment of one's capabilities and progress, and helps align daily actions with broader life goals. By committing to regular, honest, and structured self-reflection, individuals can foster personal growth, enhance their emotional intelligence, and live more intentional and fulfilled lives. Through this practice, self-reflection not only contributes to individual improvement but also enhances one's ability to contribute positively to their relationships and wider communities. Overcoming personal biases and embracing change are essential for personal growth and development. Biases can limit our perspectives and prevent us from seeing the full spectrum of possibilities in our lives and careers. Similarly, resistance to change can stifle innovation and adaptability, crucial attributes in today's fast-paced world. Understanding and addressing these elements can significantly enhance an individual's ability to thrive in diverse environments and under various circumstances. Personal biases are the preconceived notions or predispositions we hold towards people, places, ideas, or things. These biases are often formed by our background, cultural environment, personal experiences, and education. They can manifest in various ways, such as confirmation bias, where we favor information that confirms our existing beliefs, or social biases, which can affect how we interact with people who differ from us. Overcoming these biases requires a conscious effort to recognize and challenge them actively. The first step in overcoming personal biases is awareness. We must be willing to scrutinize our thoughts and behaviors critically to identify biases that may be influencing them. This can be uncomfortable but is necessary for genuine self-improvement. Techniques such as self-reflection, soliciting feedback from others, and engaging in exercises that expose us to different perspectives can help increase awareness of our biases. For instance, participating in diversity training workshops or multicultural events can provide insights into other cultures and lifestyles, challenging stereotypes and prejudices we may hold. Once we are aware of our biases, actively challenging them is crucial. This involves putting ourselves in situations where our biases are tested. For example, if one has a bias against a particular professional field, actively learning about that field or meeting professionals within it can help break down misconceptions and lead to a more informed viewpoint. Challenging biases also involves embracing cognitive flexibility, which is the mental ability to switch between thinking about two different concepts, or to think about multiple concepts simultaneously. This flexibility helps us to remain open to new ideas and perspectives, fostering a more inclusive mindset. Embracing change is similarly challenging, but equally rewarding. Change is a constant in both personal and professional life, yet many of us resist it due to fear of the unknown or discomfort with new situations. Embracing change requires developing resilience, the ability to recover quickly from difficulties. If we view change as an opportunity for growth, it becomes less threatening and more of something to embrace enthusiastically. To cultivate resilience, it is helpful to develop a growth mindset, a concept popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This view creates a love of learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment. Individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace change because they see it as an opportunity to learn and improve. They are not crippled by failure, but instead learn from it and use it as a stepping stone towards greater achievements. Strategies for embracing change include setting realistic expectations about the process of change, maintaining a positive attitude, and developing a strong support network. These strategies can make transition smoother and less intimidating. For instance, when undertaking a significant career change, it can be beneficial to connect with mentors who have experienced similar transitions. Their insights and support can provide guidance and reduce the sense of isolation that sometimes accompanies major changes. Additionally, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, including regular exercise and adequate sleep, can enhance our physical and mental well-being, making us better equipped to handle the stresses associated with change. Physical wellness supports mental health, providing a strong foundation for dealing with the uncertainties of change. Furthermore, continual learning is vital in managing change effectively. This involves staying updated with new developments in one's field, continually upgrading skills, and being proactive in seeking opportunities for personal and professional development. Lifelong learning not only helps in adapting to change, but also in anticipating it, allowing individuals to remain relevant and competitive in their careers. Overcoming personal biases and embracing change are crucial for achieving personal fulfillment and professional success. These processes require ongoing effort and commitment, but lead to a more adaptable, open-minded, and competent individual. By cultivating awareness, challenging existing paradigms, and developing resilience against the inevitable changes life throws our way, we equip ourselves with the tools necessary for continuous growth and improvement. These practices not only benefit individuals but also enrich the communities and organizations they are part of, contributing to a more dynamic, inclusive, and forward-thinking society. Chapter 6: Critical Thinking in Leadership. Effective decision-making is a critical skill for leaders, as their choices often have significant impacts on their teams, organizations, and sometimes even on broader societal levels. Leaders must navigate through complexities and uncertainties to make decisions that are informed, strategic, and forward-thinking. Several decision-making strategies can aid leaders in this process, ensuring that their choices promote the best outcomes for their organizations and align with long-term goals. One fundamental strategy in decision-making is the rational decision-making model, which involves a clear, step-by-step process designed to ensure thorough analysis and objective decision-making. This model starts with defining the problem clearly, which is essential for understanding the scope and implications of the decision. Once the problem is defined, the next step is to identify the criteria that the decision must meet, which could include factors like cost, time, efficiency, and alignment with organizational goals. After setting the criteria, leaders must weigh these criteria according to their priorities, which helps in evaluating the importance of one aspect over another. The next step involves generating a list of all possible solutions or alternatives. This stage often requires brainstorming and consultation with team members and other stakeholders, promoting a diverse range of ideas and perspectives. After alternatives are identified, each one is evaluated against the set criteria. This evaluation is critical as it involves analyzing the pros and cons of each alternative based on the established criteria and priorities. The alternative that best meets the criteria is then selected. However, the decision-making process does not end with the selection of an alternative. Leaders must then implement the decision and continuously monitor its outcomes to ensure that it achieves the desired results. Adjustments are made as necessary, based on the feedback and the evolving circumstances surrounding the decision. Another important strategy is the intuitive decision-making approach, which contrasts with the purely rational model by relying more on gut feelings and instincts. While this approach might seem less structured, it is particularly useful in situations where quick decisions are necessary or when data and information are incomplete. Experienced leaders often use intuitive decision-making effectively because they have built a wealth of knowledge and experience that their intuition can draw upon. However, relying solely on intuition can be risky, especially in complex or unfamiliar situations. Therefore, it is generally best used in conjunction with more structured decision-making methods. Leaders also benefit from employing a participative decision-making approach where team members are involved in the process. This strategy not only helps in gathering diverse viewpoints and ideas, but also increases buy-in and commitment from those who will be affected by the decision. Engaging team members can uncover insights that a leader might not consider on their own and can lead to more innovative and effective solutions. Additionally, participation fosters a positive organizational culture by valuing and leveraging the collective knowledge and skills of the team. A strategic decision-making approach involves looking at decisions not just in isolation, but as part of an overarching strategy. This approach requires leaders to consider how a particular decision fits within the larger goals of the organization. Strategic decision-making emphasizes the importance of aligning decisions with long-term objectives and involves assessing the potential future impacts of decisions. Leaders practicing strategic decision-making often use tools like SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, or scenario planning to visualize different outcomes and determine how decisions might influence various aspects of the organization over time. Moreover, ethical decision-making is crucial for leaders who must ensure that their choices uphold the values and ethics of the organization. Ethical decision-making involves considering the moral implications of decisions and striving to choose actions that are fair, just, and beneficial for all stakeholders involved. Leaders might use ethical frameworks or codes of conduct to guide their decision-making process, ensuring consistency and integrity in their actions. Effective leaders recognize the importance of continuously improving their decision-making skills. This involves regular self-assessment and reflection on past decisions, learning from successes and mistakes, and seeking feedback from peers, mentors, and other leaders. Continuous learning and development in decision-making are essential as it helps leaders adapt to changing environments and challenges. Effective leadership decision-making combines several strategies to ensure comprehensive and responsible management. By incorporating rational, intuitive, participative, strategic, and ethical approaches into their decision-making processes, leaders can make well-rounded decisions that advance the goals of their organizations while also considering the well-being of their teams and the broader community. These strategies, when applied judiciously, help leaders navigate the complex web of challenges they face, enabling them to achieve sustainable success and positive impacts. Fostering a culture of critical thinking within an organization is pivotal for enhancing innovation, efficiency, and adaptability in a competitive and rapidly changing business environment. Critical thinking in a corporate context involves encouraging an analytical mindset across all levels of the organization, from new recruits to top management. This approach not only helps in solving complex problems, but also in identifying opportunities for improvement and innovation. By embedding critical thinking into the organizational culture, leaders can cultivate a workforce that approaches challenges with skepticism and creativity, rather than conformity and routine thinking. Creating a culture that values and promotes critical thinking begins with leadership. Leaders must model critical thinking behaviors, including questioning assumptions, evaluating evidence, and considering multiple perspectives before making decisions. When leaders demonstrate these behaviors, they set a precedent for their teams, signaling that such an approach is valued and expected. For instance, a leader can encourage critical thinking by openly discussing their decision-making process during meetings, highlighting how certain conclusions were drawn and alternatives considered. This transparency not only demystifies the process but also encourages others to think similarly. Training and development play crucial roles in fostering critical thinking. Organizations should invest in training programs that specifically target critical thinking skills, such as analytical reasoning, problem solving, and the ability to evaluate arguments critically. These programs can be tailored to the specific needs of the business and should be made accessible to all employees, regardless of their level or role. For example, workshops or seminars can be conducted regularly to teach staff how to apply critical thinking in their daily work routines or in handling complex projects. Encouraging a questioning culture is another effective strategy. This means creating an environment where employees feel safe and valued when they question processes, decisions, or the status quo without fear of reprisal or ridicule. Leaders can encourage such a culture by rewarding those who raise meaningful questions or by instituting regular review sessions where strategies and current projects are critiqued and debated. These sessions can help identify potential improvements and foster a more open, innovative workplace atmosphere. Diversity and inclusion are vital for fostering critical thinking. A diverse workforce brings a variety of perspectives, backgrounds, and problem-solving approaches. This diversity helps in challenging the prevailing norms and generating innovative ideas. Organizations should strive to create diverse teams and ensure that all voices are heard and respected, which can enhance the quality of discussions and the decisions made. Promoting diversity not only involves hiring practices, but also creating pathways for diverse individuals to express their thoughts and contribute to decision-making processes. Feedback mechanisms are also integral to developing a culture of critical thinking. Feedback should be a two-way street, with employees at all levels encouraged to provide input on organizational processes and leadership decisions. This feedback should be genuinely considered and responded to, which can reinforce the value the organization places on the opinions and insights of its employees. For instance, regular feedback sessions can be institutionalized where employees are encouraged to discuss the efficacy of processes and policies and suggest improvements based on their daily experiences and unique insights. Knowledge management systems can support critical thinking by ensuring that valuable information is shared and not siloed within specific departments or individuals. Effective knowledge management allows employees to access the information necessary to understand the broader context of their work, engage in informed problem-solving, and innovate more effectively. By facilitating the easy exchange of information and best practices, organizations can prevent reinventing the wheel and ensure that all team members are equipped with the insights needed to think critically and contribute meaningfully. Lastly, evaluating and rewarding critical thinking is crucial. Organizations should recognize and reward employees who demonstrate superior critical thinking skills. This can be done through performance evaluations that include metrics for creativity, problem-solving, and innovation. Recognizing and rewarding these skills can motivate employees to hone and apply them regularly, reinforcing a culture where critical thinking is not just appreciated, but is also seen as a key component of professional success and advancement. Fostering a culture of critical thinking within an organization requires a multifaceted approach that involves leadership, training, cultural encouragement of questioning, diversity and inclusion, effective feedback mechanisms, robust knowledge management, and recognition and reward systems. By implementing these strategies, organizations can develop a more proactive, innovative, and adaptable workforce capable of navigating the complexities of the modern business environment, leading to sustained growth and success. Chapter 7: The Future of Critical Thinking. In today's rapidly evolving world, marked by technological advancements, globalization, and complex societal challenges, the importance of critical thinking has never been more pronounced. As we navigate through an era of unprecedented information overload, fake news, and increasingly sophisticated technology, the ability to assess, analyze, and act upon information critically is crucial. Emerging trends across various sectors underscore the growing need for individuals and organizations to prioritize and cultivate this skill. One significant trend is the proliferation of data and analytics. With the advent of big data, organizations in all sectors are now able to access vast amounts of information. However, the availability of data alone is not enough. The capability to critically evaluate this data, discern patterns, and extract meaningful insights is essential. Critical thinking enables individuals to navigate through noise and complexity, identify biases in data, and make decisions that are informed by a comprehensive and nuanced understanding of both the data and its implications. For instance, in the healthcare sector, the interpretation of data from patient outcomes can influence treatment protocols and healthcare policies. Critical thinkers are needed to interpret this data accurately, ensuring that decisions enhance patient care and optimize resource allocation. Another trend highlighting the importance of critical thinking is the increasing automation of routine tasks. As artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, technologies take over repetitive tasks, the human workforce is freed up to tackle more complex and strategic challenges. These challenges often require deep analytical skills and the ability to think critically about multifaceted problems. For example, while AI can optimize inventory management, human oversight that involves critical thinking is necessary to address supply chain vulnerabilities exposed by unpredictable events like the COVID-19 pandemic. Moreover, the digital transformation of businesses and the integration of cybersecurity measures have further emphasized the need for critical thinking. Cybersecurity, in particular, presents a field rife with ambiguities and constant change. Professionals in this field must not only react to security threats, but also anticipate potential vulnerabilities and innovate prevention measures. This requires a mindset that is both critical and forward-thinking, capable of questioning existing security measures and hypothesizing about potential future threats. The rapid spread of misinformation through social media and other digital platforms is another area where critical thinking is essential. Individuals must navigate a complex media landscape where information is easily accessible but not always accurate. The ability to critically evaluate sources, understand the context, and identify potential biases is crucial to making informed decisions and forming educated opinions. For instance, during election cycles, voters are bombarded with information from various sources. Critical thinking skills enable them to evaluate this information, discerning fact from propaganda. Furthermore, the global nature of today's economy and the interconnectivity between markets demand a critical understanding of not only local but also global issues and trends. This globalization has led to increased complexity in economic relationships and business strategies. Here, critical thinking helps professionals understand and anticipate how global events can impact markets and businesses, enabling them to make strategic decisions that account for both local and international factors. The environmental challenges of our time, including climate change and sustainability issues, also require critical thinking. As the world grapples with these crises, innovative solutions and sustainable practices are needed more than ever. Critical thinking inspires individuals and organizations to question conventional practices and develop new approaches that are not only effective but also sustainable. In academia, the importance of critical thinking is recognized as vital for fostering independent thinkers who can contribute novel ideas and solutions to societal problems. In the realm of education, there is a growing trend towards teaching methods that prioritize critical thinking skills, preparing students to tackle real-world problems with innovative and thoughtful solutions. The increasing importance of critical thinking is a response to these trends and challenges, emphasizing its role as a fundamental skill necessary for success and advancement in the 21st century. As we continue to face new and complex problems, the ability to think critically is not just advantageous but essential. It is the cornerstone of innovation, effective problem-solving, and sound decision-making, making it indispensable in cultivating a resilient and capable society. Underscore 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 underscore. Lifelong critical thinking and continuous learning are indispensable in an ever-evolving world where the only constant is change. These capabilities are not merely academic or professional assets but are fundamental life skills that enhance an individual's ability to adapt, innovate, and excel throughout various stages of life. Lifelong learning and the cultivation of critical thinking skills enable individuals to navigate the complexities and uncertainties of modern life, making informed decisions that impact their personal and professional spheres. The concept of lifelong learning entails an ongoing, voluntary, and self-motivated pursuit of knowledge for either personal or professional reasons. This form of education is not confined to traditional educational settings but occurs throughout life and in a variety of situations. Each experience and challenge faced by an individual can be seen as an opportunity to learn something new or to improve existing skills, including critical thinking. This continuous acquisition of knowledge and skills helps individuals remain competitive and relevant in their professions, adapt to changes, and foster personal growth and satisfaction. Critical thinking, integral to this process, involves more than just problem solving. It includes the ability to question assumptions, evaluate evidence, and consider alternative viewpoints. These skills are crucial for lifelong learners as they navigate vast amounts of information, differing opinions, and complex scenarios. For instance, in professional settings, a lifelong learner with well-honed critical thinking skills can assess industry trends, adapt business strategies, or implement new technologies more effectively. Similarly, in personal life, critical thinking helps individuals make better decisions about health, investments, and relationships, contributing to a more fulfilled and balanced life. The interrelation between lifelong learning and critical thinking is particularly evident in the context of professional development. As industries evolve, professionals must continually update their knowledge and skills to stay abreast of new practices, technologies, and regulatory changes. This is where critical thinking becomes invaluable. It allows individuals to critically assess and integrate new information, discern credible sources, and apply new knowledge effectively in their work. For example, a marketing professional might need to learn about the latest digital marketing tools and techniques to remain effective. Critical thinking enables them to not only learn these new skills, but also critically assess how best to integrate them into their existing strategies for maximum impact. Moreover, the digital age has significantly transformed the accessibility of information, making knowledge more available, but also more challenging to navigate due to information overload and the prevalence of misinformation. Lifelong learners must therefore be adept critical thinkers who can quickly evaluate the relevance and reliability of information encountered online and apply it appropriately in different contexts. This skill is especially important as the boundaries between high-quality information and misinformation become increasingly blurred, making critical thinking an essential filter for engaging with content across all media. Engaging in lifelong learning and critical thinking also has broader societal implications. As societies face complex global challenges, such as climate change, political instability, and public health crises, educated populations equipped with critical thinking skills are better prepared to understand these issues, participate in meaningful dialogues, and contribute to sustainable solutions. In this way, lifelong learning and critical thinking not only enhance individual capabilities but also enrich community and societal resilience. To foster lifelong critical thinking and learning, individuals and institutions can adopt several strategies. Educational systems can emphasize critical thinking and problem solving from an early age, integrating these skills into the curriculum across all subjects. For adults, workplaces can support continuous learning through training programs, workshops, and seminars that encourage both professional development and personal growth. Additionally, technology can be leveraged to provide access to educational resources and platforms that support lifelong learning, from massive open online courses, MOOCs, to specialized training modules available through professional networks. Furthermore, cultivating a personal habit of reading widely and engaging with diverse forms of media can enhance one's knowledge and critical thinking abilities. Discussions with peers, mentors, and experts in various fields can also provide fresh perspectives and stimulate intellectual growth. Lastly, regular self-reflection helps lifelong learners assess their understanding and improve their critical thinking processes, thereby ensuring that learning is not just an accumulation of facts, but a deepening of understanding. Lifelong learning and critical thinking are deeply interconnected, each enriching the other. Together, they form a dynamic and robust approach to personal and professional development that is crucial for navigating the complexities of modern life. By committing to continuous learning and consistently applying critical thinking, individuals can ensure that they remain relevant, adaptable, and capable of making informed decisions that positively impact both their lives and the broader community. Conclusion. In a world increasingly characterized by complexity and rapid change, the capacity for critical thinking is more essential than ever. It is the linchpin that enables individuals not only to navigate personal and professional challenges with greater acuity, but also to contribute to societal progress. The discussions throughout this audiobook have highlighted the multifaceted nature of critical thinking, underscoring its role as a transformative tool that can significantly enhance decision-making processes, foster innovative thinking, and cultivate a deeper understanding of the world. Reflecting on the various dimensions of critical thinking explored, it becomes evident that mastering this skill extends far beyond the mere ability to analyze facts objectively. It involves a comprehensive toolkit of strategies ranging from the identification and evaluation of biases to the systematic approach of breaking down complex information and the agile adaptation to new circumstances through continuous learning. Each chapter has built upon the previous, constructing a detailed narrative that illustrates not just the how but also the why of critical thinking. The journey began with an exploration of the barriers to effective critical thinking, such as cognitive biases and emotional influences, which often cloud judgment and impede rational analysis. Understanding these barriers is the first step towards mitigating their impact, setting the stage for more informed and impartial decision-making. The subsequent sections delved into practical tools and techniques to enhance observation, improve argumentation and articulation, and cultivate a mindset that values questions over easy answers. The importance of critical thinking in leadership was particularly emphasized, reflecting its pivotal role in shaping visionary leaders who can steer their organizations towards success in uncertain times. Leaders equipped with critical thinking skills are better prepared to make strategic decisions that consider both the immediate and long-term implications for their organizations and the communities they serve. This is crucial in a business landscape where the stakes are high and the margins for error are slim. Furthermore, the discussion on fostering a culture of critical thinking within organizations illuminated the transformative impact of embedding this skill into the corporate ethos. It is not enough for individuals alone to possess critical thinking capabilities. For businesses to thrive, this skill must be ingrained in the organization's culture, encouraging everyone from the newest recruits to the highest echelons of management to challenge assumptions, push boundaries, and innovate continuously. The exploration of emerging trends and the importance of lifelong learning encapsulated the forward-looking aspects of critical thinking. In an era defined by information overload and rapid technological advancements, the ability to sift through noise to find actionable insights is invaluable. Lifelong learning is the vehicle through which individuals maintain and sharpen their critical thinking abilities, ensuring they remain adaptable and relevant regardless of how their personal or professional circumstances evolve. As we conclude this examination of critical thinking, it is clear that this skill is not just an academic asset but a fundamental life skill that influences every aspect of human interaction, from personal decisions about health and relationships to professional choices in business and leadership. It also plays a crucial role in our collective ability to address global challenges, making it indispensable for informed citizenship and effective participation in democratic processes. The hope is that this detailed exploration into the art and science of critical thinking has not only illuminated its importance but also inspired a commitment to cultivating this essential skill. For those who embark on this journey, the rewards are manifold, offering not just professional success and personal satisfaction but also the profound joy of perpetual growth and learning. In a world that often seems dominated by haste and superficiality, critical thinking shines as a beacon of depth and discernment, a tool that empowers individuals to see beyond the obvious, challenge the status quo, and envision a future that is not only possible but also richer and more enlightened.